We're live.
Hi, everybody. Hello, welcome to College of Lore, everybody. My name is Kate,
And I'm Jill.
and
I'm Alex.
this is our channel. That's our friend Alex.
That's Kimberly.
That's
Shawn.
And that's Shawn. Thank you for joining us. This is our final session of Kids on Bikes. So we had a little character creation session to start things off, and then one little half of the adventure session, probably a little more than half of the adventure session, and we are finishing off the last chapter today. So I think I'll start with just a bit of a summary. Last time in our adventure, our adventuring party, which consists of Carol, maybe you can wave Carol, Jason, Tracy, and Jeff. They all stumbled upon a cave, which isn't that uncommon in Connor's Crossing. There's lots of caves under the city. But in that cave, they found a strange young girl called Sherry, who has some pretty amazing powers. And they defeated a grotesque mutant beaver. And what we've determined is that there seems to be something going on in the caves underneath the city, and it seems to be coming from the Sally's Sense factory, which is sort of the main economic backbone of Connor's Crossing, which is where we are. So that happened on Saturday, right? Or was it Sunday? Maybe it was Sunday.
That happened on
It was
Sunday.
last Saturday.
Right. That happened on Sunday. And the plan is that today, on Tuesday, everybody's going to take advantage of Take Your Kids to Work Day to get into the Sally Sense factory and figure out what's going on there to see if they can find any proof of anything. On Monday, everybody did a lot of stuff, though. We made a forum post on an Obsidian portal page, and we discussed what happened on Monday. So I'm just going to quickly read through that summary of what everybody did on Monday and what happened. So Jeff and Carol bring Sherry to their home since their parents are often out of the house. Jeff manages to convince his parents that he's sick, and he stays home from school to take care of Sherry. They spend their day bonding through pop culture on the family's Betamax player. This time is very special to Sherry, who has been alone for so long in those caves. She forms a new aspect. So Kim, this is a new aspect that you'll get to control. She is immediately bonded to Jeff. So she has a very strong bond with Jeff now. In their time together, Jeff also notices something interesting. Sherry seems to rejuvenate her ability to use her special powers especially quickly after consuming a special kind of food. What kind of treat was it that you gave Sherry then and noticed that her sort of magical powers seemed to rejuvenate more quickly after she ate it?
Looking at my 1983 pop culture real quick.
Yeah.
Let's see. Okay. Let's just go with something like I know what I really liked back then was those chocolate Hostess cupcakes.
Oh, man.
All right.
Nice.
Sounds good. So you guys were kind of messing around in the house, playing around with her powers, and you noticed that after you gave her one of those, she seemed to rejuvenate a lot more quickly than she usually does. So usually she can rest and eat something or sleep, and her power does rejuvenate, but it seemed to be sped up when she ate one of those little cupcakes. Almost instantaneously rejuvenated after that. Some magical property of those cupcakes.
I mean, that makes sense. Superheroes have been making ads for those Hostess pies all through that period.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was Jeff's day. Carol spends her day at school putting out some social fires resulting from her conspicuous absence at a couple big parties on the weekend. Steph, Jason's girlfriend, seems especially suspicious since she couldn't get a hold of Carol or Jason the entire weekend. Carol tries to convince her that she was just studying for finals. At lunch, Carol makes her way to the library to do some research. First, she looks into radiation. She discovers that there are some medical uses for radiation that are relatively safe, but that in general, radioactive substances are quite dangerous. When they were first discovered, researchers found that exposure could cause serious burns to the skin and hair loss, and eventually fatal illnesses. So it's probably good that you guys didn't stick around in that underground cave full of radiation for too long.
Yeah.
Even still, the potential medical uses are still being researched. She also does some research on the members of the local garden club. While looking through the archives of the town paper, she finds an article about the garden club that lists the names of the members, and they're all shown in a photograph. The garden club is headed by Ruth Jones, who Carol discovers used to be very close with Sally of Sally's Sense. Ruth can actually be seen standing beside Sally in the newspaper article about the grand opening of Sally's Sense from 15 years ago. Carol discovers that many of the garden club members have spotty and mysterious backgrounds with not a lot of information available. However, several of them have medical or research experience with radiation technologies. Tracy also spends some time at the library digging up information. He finds, as Carol did, that Sally's Sense was founded about 15 years ago. The cave system that lies beneath the city seems to have always been there, but there does seem to be a slow increase in the number of random sinkholes and related accidents that begins after Sally's Sense was founded. Tracy finds a local newspaper article from 10 years ago about the mysterious visit of a rather large CSIS contingent who were supposedly looking into the increased incidents of cave accidents and disappearances in the area. They claimed to have solved the issue, but were unable to provide any details. In any case, in the years since the visit, the number of accidents and sinkholes has certainly not been reduced. If anything, it looks like they've been increasing in frequency lately. Tracy also attempts to research a supernatural explanation for Sherry's state. He concludes, based on his research, that she is probably either an alien from outer space or has been mutated as a result of exposure to the radiation in the caves. Probably the alien thing, though. In addition to conducting his library research, Tracy arranges to spend Take Your Kids to Work Day at the movie theater across the street from Sally's Sense with his mom's ex, Rick. Tracy and Rick were always close, having connected over a mutual love of science fiction, and Rick tends to let him get away with things that other adults might not.
Nerds.
Rick's
Yes.
cool.
He is a cool guy. Cool dude.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jason finally spends his day backing up Carol's explanations for why they weren't at any of the big parties over the weekend. When he explains to Steph that Carol was helping him study, he can tell this might have been a mistake. She seems upset and jealous. Jason overhears two other students gossiping about he and Carol were suspiciously MIA all weekend, insinuating that they were together. In the evening, Jason manages to convince his father to make a visit to Sally's Sense the next day for Take Your Kids to Work Day, which will position him there with the others. In addition, at some point throughout the day, every one of you notices members of the garden club lurking nearby. Jeff notices that their neighbor Gladys slowly walked past their house 3 times throughout the day. Jason and Carol notice a couple of the garden club ladies lingering around the schoolyard after the bell rings, and they attempt to lose them on their way home. Tracy notices that Gertrude is in the library reading the whole time he was there, and he caught her peering up at him over her book more than once. Carol confirms that she was also there at lunchtime. It appears that you are all being watched.
Da-na-na.
I'm suddenly envisioning Gladys as Gladys Kravitz from Bewitched, and I'm imagining her like, instead of running to her husband, of course she's running to whoever they're all answering to, assuming they are. But
Ruth.
It's that whole Anna kind of attitude about it.
Exactly. All right, so it is now Tuesday morning. I believe Jeff, Carol, and Jason, the 3 of you find yourselves right now at the Sally's Sense factory in the welcome lobby. Tracy, you started your day across the street at the movie theater, so we'll talk in a second about what your plans are there. But just to give you guys a little bit of, like, you've been provided like a schedule for the day, because this is a big factory, so you don't just like your parents have like important things to do, their jobs. And so this company, Sally Sense, has somebody like one of their HR person or whatever, who's basically like babysitting all the kids who were brought for Take Your Kids to Work Day. So the first thing on the agenda is going to be a tour of the facility. And then they have like various activities that the kids are supposed to do throughout the day. So you're going to like learn how to make soap and that kind of thing. There's like little workshops spattered out throughout the day.
Uh-oh. A new player is entering the...
Aww.
Oh,
Is that Rick?
Yeah, that might be Rick.
Rick, the theater worker.
Rick
Yeah.
lets me get away with stuff. This guy makes me like feed him and scoop.
Get up
poop.
early and...
Scoop, boop.
Yeah. Well.
Now he demands my pets.
Yes. All right.
So Tracy,
So they have like somebody from PR and marketing or something giving us or are we going to start?
So first thing, that this little presentation will start with a little speech from Jason's dad, who's the mayor of the town. He'll be like, "Welcome everybody, blah blah blah." You're not really listening. Sally Sense is a pillar of the community. Like he's just, doing the dad speech thing. You've heard him do it a million times. Yep.
Quick question. What do we do with Sherry at this time? Where is she?
Good question.
I feel like it wouldn't be too hard to bring her because she could be someone else's kid, and if like we came in kind of a little group,
she could just be in the crowd of kids that are there for parent teacher. Like,
yeah, I feel like
a group of kids.
Yeah, I feel
everyone
like
will assume that she's someone else's kid.
Exactly. I feel like back then the security might not have been as intense as it is now. Correct me if I'm wrong, but
well, you can try it.
What you can watch out for is someone recognizing her from the posters from 13 years ago, since she looks exactly the same.
True.
I don't think anyone would think that she's that
unless
person.
Unless she was doing a dramatic 80s makeover.
A dramatic 80s makeover? Oh my God,
I
Carol.
do have all my stuff on me for
Carol,
hair and makeup.
You would be perfect at that.
Yeah. So I before we leave, I definitely do some like makeup and try and make her makeover montage, making her look just like the most generic popular schoolgirl I can.
Okay.
Perfect.
You've got all the materials for that.
I do. Makeup kit,
you've been
hairbrush.
for this.
Yeah, it's my time to shine.
You might be like some of Steph's jealousy this way too.
Right. Yeah.
Well, there's like a little montage with like some music playing over it, and you're doing her up, and
yeah. Perfect.
She coughs with the powder in her face. So, yeah.
It's
Lip
almost
liner.
like Tears for Fears.
Yeah. All right. So yeah, we'll say that the four of you are definitely there. Tracy, what are your thoughts about today?
I mean, I'm probably gonna watch a movie in the morning while I'm waiting for them to get there. But after that, I'm gonna pay lip service to being there in the morning and gotta be good undercover.
We determine what time of year this was. It's spring, right?
I believe so. Yeah.
Okay.
I might ask some questions about what happens when the power goes out and stuff like that. Just trying to figure out if there might be any shared facilities, utilities or stuff like where do they go to fix if the sewage overflows? Where do they go fix that?
Yeah.
It just comes off as my general disaster preparedness, but I'm actually looking for structural weaknesses in Sally's sense.
Okay.
You could run Return of the Jedi for your private enjoyment. It had been released on May 25th.
Oh, that's already on. That's playing.
This is a private screening, though.
Right. Okay.
Oh yeah, Rick let me watch Blade Runner in the projection room. It was pretty sweet.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah. So I'll be observing. There are some windows that aren't super obvious near the top, and a floor there, which I'll sort of be periodically peering out at Sally's sense.
Okay. Yeah, so when you're doing that, you can see, the people starting to arrive for work, and you can see kids coming in, and you can see through the front sort of glass doors of the building that everybody's sort of gathering there in the lobby. Yeah.
Do you have your walkie-talkie? Like, do you and Carol have walkie-talkies on you for today to coordinate?
Tracy?
I definitely do.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, I do have it written here. I was like writing it down
you guys
sneakily,
have
but
it.
I already
You
have it
have it.
written. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm sure you
I was
guys would have brought them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so you're just gonna hang tight and keep an eye on things from afar, Tracy? Okay, sounds good.
Okay, so while the mayor is giving his talk, I'm going to be telling Jason everything that I researched and that like Tracy and I had talked about on Monday, and just kind of like trying to fill him in on that kind of stuff. I feel like I would have talked to Jeff at home about it, but like, getting some time like to kind of like frantically whisper like my suspicions about the how radiation can be used in health ways, but like why would it be being used underneath this like
And why are
scent
so many of
factory?
these old garden club ladies versed in radiation?
Exactly, like why are they culminating here and that kind of stuff. And I definitely start spewing some like theories, like maybe they're making a youth serum, and that would tie into why Sherry is getting younger. Yeah. So I'm kind of like spinning off into some weird theories and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. And Jason, how are you responding to that?
I'm listening. I'm interested. I didn't do research yesterday. I'm not really a research guy. I was mostly trying to deal with the social fires of me being absent all weekend with my girlfriend and my friends.
Yeah.
And making sure that I got here today with my dad.
Mm-hmm.
Question, is Steph here today?
Ooh.
We haven't established where Steph's parents were.
She might be, and it'd be really awkward if she was, and I'm like leaning over whispering to Jason.
Yeah.
She's just seething over there if she's there.
Yeah. No, if she was here, she would be probably like standing right beside me, and we would have to ditch her. So
well,
it depends on how...
She's a little bit upset at you.
Yeah,
so maybe
she might be already keeping distance.
She could be giving you the cold shoulder, right? Like, fine.
True, yeah,
Carol.
Especially with all the rumors yesterday.
Yeah,
but...
and it's just a disaster because this, like, you need to have Carol whispering in your ear right now, but it's not helping. It's not
But I
helping
also need
all.
to be dating the most popular girl in school.
Of course.
Yes.
It's so important.
It's important.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All of her friends are saying, what do you even stand that guy? You should dump him. Because, half the school is here because this is the major industry.
Yeah, there's quite a few kids here, yeah.
At least one of her cronies is going to be over there with her where she's sitting over there going, her.
And she's whispering in her ear.
Yeah.
But this is kind of working for you guys, because even though some people, like, it's causing some people to pay attention to you too, but it's sort of a lot of the attention is on Steph because she's such a drama queen, right? So it's like, yeah. All right, so
He's not cute. Okay, he is, but he's mean. Look.
Yeah. He's always wearing that same jacket.
It's my badminton varsity jacket.
Yeah.
All right, so at this point, the speech from your father, the mayor, is over, Jason, and the woman from HR is gathering everybody together. She's handing everybody out a little map of the facility so that you don't get lost, and this is meant to help you and guide you through the tour that she's going to give you.
Excellent.
So yeah, she's going to be like, follow me right this way, everybody, and she's going to take you through the tour of the facility.
Cool.
Are we going to go on the tour, or are we going to sneak away now?
I was assuming that we would go to the tour until it seemed necessary for us to like slip away and investigate something, because you might as well learn like
the suspicious doors that say employees only.
Exactly.
Right. So yeah, you are following along. You're checking out on your map where you are, just so that you guys can have like a good orientation. And they're walking through everything that's on the map, step by step, showing you all the stuff. You know, they spend a lot of time focusing on the gift shop, and you can tell that that's where you're going to end up at the end.
Exit through the gift shop. Gotcha.
Yeah, exactly. Yep. So everything seems pretty normal and matches up really well. There's like some, washrooms. There's a couple different spots for washrooms. There's, a soap production room, and there's a candle production room, and et cetera, for all the different sort of
perfume room.
Yeah, there's a perfume. Yeah. Obviously, that's
bath beads. You remember the little beads that
Yes,
yes.
I do remember.
Oh yeah.
Everyone has like a jar of them in their bathroom.
They totally do bath beads.
Yeah.
Yeah, such a hazard for the next person who has a shower.
Yes.
Anyway.
The smell has a headache now.
Yeah. So yeah, everything seems on the up and up, and the map is accurate, except you do notice that at one point you sort of walk past this small little hallway with a unlabeled metal door at the end of it, and there's a security guard sitting at this door, but nothing is mentioned about it. You guys just kind of pass by it.
Does Carol notice that door or hallway is on the map, or is it not on the map?
It's not on the map.
Okay, I'm going to nudge Jason, and I'm assuming Jeff is right there as well, right?
Yeah.
Like we're all the three of us.
Right with us.
Okay, so I'm gonna like kind of nudge them.
And Sherry.
And I'm kind of gonna gesture to the hallway and say, "We gotta go to the bathroom," and like kind of split off as though we're just kind of heading to the washroom like it's nothing, and
like do that walking slower and loitering at the back.
Yeah, exactly. So we're gonna try that, and
I say when we get down the hall, I say my little sister has to go to the bathroom to the security guard. But I point at Sherry.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yep. So there's a bathroom nearby, but it wouldn't be down that hallway. This is sort of like.
Are we going to the bathroom?
No.
Or are we going to...
That's like we're going to the bathroom kind of thing.
Okay.
Yeah, but we're not really going to the bathroom. Right?
We're trying to get down that hallway.
That's kind of what I was thinking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if anyone starts to notice us, Sherry is going to use her time manipulation power to like slow them down so we can kind of like speed to where we want to be.
Quicksilver.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
So it's kind of like like they're kind of like, "Oh, I thought they were down there. Oh, I must have been mistaken. They're probably with the rest of the kids."
Yeah.
That's my hope anyway.
Okay.
So
yeah, there's. Oh, go ahead, Kim.
We duck into the hall, the four of us, and we just walk up to the dude going, "Excuse me, my little sister has to go to the bathroom." And let him bring us back out to the head of the hallway. And
he probably would just tell us to get lost.
Okay. So you're trying to lure him. You're trying to lure him away.
Lure him away from the door, and then time into it.
Yeah.
Okay.
I like that.
Okay. All right. So he looks at you and he rolls his eyes, possibly because you're all holding maps and literally just took a tour of the facility. But you're you're dumb kids, whatever. Right. He gets up, stretches, and walks towards the end of the hallway, and he points, and it's like it's right there. Like there's a huge sign, kind of almost, obvious. It's very obvious. It's like it's right there. There you go.
I say, "Oh, thanks. Sorry, I'm not very good with these." And I make some kind of awkward joke.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
And as
he
like
cracks a little smile, you charmed him a little bit.
Yeah.
He chuckles.
And then as he turns around to walk back down the hall, I poke Sherry, or just now
Yeah.
kind of.
Okay.
And then she will freeze him in time.
She's gonna freeze him. Okay.
Yeah.
And then we're going to go blip into the door.
Mhm.
Sure. Okay. So we so Sherry needs to keep him frozen for long enough for you guys to figure out how to get into this door, correct?
Right. Yes.
All right. So she's going to need to spend at least 1 psychic energy for this. I have her now at 6. Also, I have her as 4 adversity tokens. Does that match up with your guys' notes if you have any notes?
Yeah.
My notes were 3,
Myself.
but I could be off.
I think she had one more than we did, didn't she?
I mean, she spent 12 years in the cave.
I have 2,
Yeah, I have 2 as well.
I have
Yeah.
2.
I have
so
3.
she has 3. Would she have regenerated her magic energy over Monday? Like, would
She
she be back
did.
at 7?
Yes.
Oh, I
so
fed her hostess cupcakes, and
Yeah,
I
that's
brought
right.
a box today.
Okay.
yes, you did. Of course you did.
So her
so
doing this brings her down to 6.
to 6. Yeah, exactly. Minimum. And then where's my little page with this? So I think she rolls 2d4, but I need to set the difficulty for it. Beep, beep, beep. Sorry, guys. I'm sure I have this on my little Google Doc. What page it's on?
Roll high, Joe.
Okay, I will.
Good.
I'm gonna roll so high.
Again. All right.
I've been practicing my dice rolls over the weekend to ensure optimal rolling abilities.
All right. Let's give this a difficulty of 5 because it has to last so long.
Okay, and then what I have to do is roll 2d6?
2d4.
2d4. See, I was trying to sneak around there. Okay, 2d4.
Is it 2d20?
It's 2d20s, isn't it?
I hope Sherry's sneaking around is better.
I rolled 5 on my 2d4s.
Okay, excellent. So that's enough. It succeeds. And so Sherry kind of looks a little bit fresher and younger than she did before. And the guard stops in place.
Perfect.
We book it down the hallway.
Are you guys radioing Tracy at all? Or...
Oh yeah, definitely. It's like, Tracy, you got to get over here. There's like a secret hallway that's not on the map. It's near the girls and boys bathrooms on the main hall before the I basically try and explain
Right.
where it is.
And-
like,
Tracy, when you were researching in the library yesterday, you did look at some blueprints of that building.
Got it.
And so based on Carol's description, you can tell where they probably are on the main floor. And like, do you think you have a copy of that, or do you just remember it? Are you like photographic memory kind of guy?
I probably sketched it out on some graph paper.
Yeah. So that door is on your map. And there's also a second floor, like a basement floor that you
Right.
you saw in the architecture drawings of that building that existed in the library.
I have a plan.
Okay.
ooh.
Now the question, well, we're gonna find out. Now, from what I know of that, do I think that I'd be able to access where they're going from the loading dock area? Because this place would have a loading dock.
Yeah, you know where that is
Yeah.
with respect to the building. Yeah.
So what I'm gonna do, what I've done, is I've taken a blue jacket and a ball cap, and I am borrowing. I'll bring it back. All of the cans, several cases of cans of Coke that are still in their plastic thing, and I'm getting the dolly as well. So I'm gonna go in there. Bringing in a delivery for their canteen, and that's how I'm going to get into the.
Just walk in like you're supposed to be there. Yeah.
Right, absolutely. I'm here for get canteen. That's the plan. I'm also going to in my backpack here. I figure that Rick is doing some manual maintenance on the place, cleaning up some drywall and stuff, so he doesn't have to bring in contractors. So I'm going to get his filtration units. God only knows what kind of devil's perfume they'll try to use against us.
The devil's perfume.
and I'm gonna get some two tubes of like the really greasy popcorn butter in case I need to trip somebody up.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
And so I've got that. I had a copy of 1984, of course. You never know when you might need that in the backpack.
Yeah. Of course.
Yeah, and so with that ready, I'm ready to go on my infiltration. Yeah. So.
Okay, so we're gonna bring you up to the back door. It's the back door of the building that you suspect is the loading bay for the basement of the building, which is the only other door to the building. So you assume that that's where you're supposed to be. We'll come back to you in a sec. Everybody else, your time, you have the guard frozen in time for some amount of time. You're not really sure, and you are faced with this nondescript metal door. What do you do?
I try to open it.
Yeah, it's locked.
Okay, what does the lock look like? Does it look like a normal, like, bobby pins, tumbler, and makeup brush in the top, and then kind of.
I want to say Jeff probably wouldn't, or Jason wouldn't think of this, but the guard probably has a key. So if other of you are intelligent.
That's why I have my hand up. I was like,
Okay.
I'm going to run back to the guard and check for people fast.
All right. So Carol, you're getting all set up with like your bobby.
Yeah,
pin,
I'm like I got this guy.
Makeup
Like,
brush, and you're in here.
I've
and you're
been
like
practicing.
You're like getting ready. You're trying. It's like not really working, but
Mhm.
like you only get to do that for a few seconds, and then Jeff shows up and he's like, "Here's the key."
Shout out to Kate and I's locksmith that we met one time.
Oh, what was his name?
Rob?
Rob?
Yeah.
Yeah. He took a
Forever.
million years.
Yeah.
He took a million years to open the door to me.
Yeah.
All right.
Sorry.
So you have the key and you stick it into the lock, and it seems to
I put
open.
the bobby pin back in my hair.
As somebody's holding the door open, I run back down there and put the key back in his pocket.
Okay. Yep. Good call.
We don't need it.
Jeff is on the ball today.
Mm-hmm.
He is. All right. And so you go down, you go through the door, and then you see that the door opens up into a stairwell that just goes down.
Okay.
Perfect.
So we get the door shut, and the very next thing I do is feed Sherry a cupcake.
All right. So
How many of these cupcakes did you bring with you?
A full box, so 12.
yeah,
Whoa,
You
nice.
just have it in your bag.
Mm.
Yes, I did.
he probably had it anyway.
Yeah.
Things are delicious.
That is kind of my jam.
Yeah.
All right. So she gobbles it down, and you can tell that she seems to look a little bit more rejuvenated, and so she's back up to her 7 psychic energy.
Okay.
Are you guys gonna go down the stairs?
Yeah, I'm gonna definitely take a look to make sure there's nothing, like no people around down there or anything. Is it dark or is it well lit?
It's lit. Yeah, it's lit.
Okay,
There's
just
no
to make sure no
darkness.
one sees us, basically. Just like
Right,
kind of
it's
scan.
like
Are you looking for security cameras?
Columns with walls around it, or is it an open stairway into an area?
So it's like a industrial type stairway where it's not very closed off. There's not walls. There's like sort of railings on the stairs that you can kind of see down, and you can see that there doesn't appear to be like a closed door at the bottom of the stairway, but it's a doorway that leads into another area, and where it's not very closed off. Oh, I can hear myself through
That's
you for
okay.
some reason.
That's okay. I was just loading it up here so I couldn't see the chat.
Okay. Yep. Sounds
Okay.
good.
Yeah, I was like,
Am I over there too?
we've got a new issue to deal with.
Right. So you can see that there's like a opening into a well lit downstairs area, and you can hear some distressing sounds, like somebody wailing and crying down here. So
I'm following Carol's lead.
I'll
Okay.
let you. Are you guys going to head down to the bottom of the stairwell?
Yeah,
And
cautiously.
You two would be focused on that just a little faster than me and Sherry because I'm feeding cupcakes. So we'll be following your lead too once we finish with the cupcake, which would only take, what, 30 seconds?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, not long at all. She's ravenous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna pull out my keys just to like do that thing where you have them in your hand because now I'm like freaked out.
Okay.
So and then I'm gonna cautiously.
Number one, does it sound like a person? Number two, do they sound sad? Do they sound angry?
It sounds like a person. It sounds like a woman, and she sounds terrified.
Okay.
And very sad. Yeah.
Okay,
like
yeah.
Something traumatizing is happening to her.
Okay, I'm gonna cautiously go down the stairs.
Okay.
See
So we'll say
Carol with like her makeshift key weapon. I brought the tire iron again today just in case, just in my bag. I'll slip it up my sleeve just to like have, but not be like holding.
Okay.
So I can grab it if we need it.
Okay. Sounds good. So I've just changed the scene here so you guys can see over on the left, the four of you are entering this area from there. And Tracy, can you see yourself over here on the right?
Oh yeah.
Yes, you're right over here at this door. So Tracy, we're going to jump back to you just for a sec.
I don't think that's what's...
It might not be, but just.
Oh, we've got Jill back.
Oh, are you guys losing us?
Yeah, everybody locked up for a second. We lost you right after you said here on the left.
Oh.
Okay, so I've just shared this new screen. The four of you are over here entering from this door. Shawn, you're over here on the right at this door at the back of the building. Can you see that?
Yep.
All right. So we're gonna jump back to Tracy for now. Tracy, you're at the door, and it doesn't appear to just be open. It's sort of locked.
Locked, is it?
Yeah.
What type of a lock?
It looks like a similar lock to the one, I mean, you don't know what the one that they just went through looks like, but it's similar to that. It's nothing super intense, but it doesn't look like rickety or anything either. It's like a metal door that's locked. It has a doorknob on it.
Mm-hmm. All right, well, I'll knock at it.
All right. You knock and you listen for an answer.
Mm-hmm.
You don't hear an answer, but you do hear like that a faint echo of that upset crying sound that they heard very loudly from there.
Okay.
Okay, so it's louder for him?
No, it's less loud for him. He's outside and you guys are inside, basically. It's happening inside. Yeah.
All right.
So based on your map, you know, well, yeah, you can see, Shawn can see like the whole layout of the floor, whereas you guys wouldn't be as familiar unless you looked at the map together beforehand, which maybe you did, I don't know.
Well, we didn't specify that we had, and frankly, I wouldn't be interested. I'd be like, Carol knows all that stuff.
I'm gonna walkie-talkie to Tracy and be like, hey, did you get my instructions? Where are you? Over.
I'm covering the outside entrance to the basement. It's locked. I'm gonna butter it up here, figure it out. It's all good.
Okay, we're in the basement now.
Cool. I heard a noise. It didn't sound good.
Yeah, we hear too. Something's going on. We're gonna investigate.
Over.
Over now.
Okay, but not game over. All right.
Not yet.
Yeah.
So we're gonna follow that sound, I think, probably. What do you guys think?
Yeah. Let's check it out.
So the sound is coming from, so you guys can kind of hear it coming from here, but you can tell that it's sort of like coming from
Right, like
this room.
around
So there's
Yeah.
there's actually, you can see there's like a door here. There's some little smaller rooms with doors here and here. But yeah, you hear the sound coming from this way.
Should we
Alright.
try and see if we can let Tracy in? I feel like the
Do
more...
you know the layout of the basement? Like, do you know where the outside doors are?
Would Tracy have shared with me the blueprints when we were studying yesterday? Like, and
You and Tracy probably would have, like,
kind of talked
coordinated.
about this a bit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that makes sense to me. If you guys were both at the library.
Well, I
Yeah.
mean, that would be kind of the plan. We had to get Tracy
Mhm.
at some.
Yeah.
Would lockpicks be something I'd likely have on me, being a prepared conspiracy theorist?
Sure.
Yeah, don't
Alright,
you
I'll put
have,
a little
like...
bit of- I'll put
You
a
gonna
little
try?
bit on them and get to it.
All right, so do you want to make a check for that?
I brought popcorn butter with me as a grease spell,
Right,
basically.
there you go.
Yeah, cool. So, brains would that be?
Sure, and we will say that this is a 14 difficulty.
All right. Got a 13. So if I spend one adversity token, is that a 14?
Yep.
All right. I'll
Hey.
spend one adversity token.
Very nice.
Mechanics.
All right, so are you guys going to move towards Tracy still, or like-
Yeah, I think that would be a good idea to try and coordinate a little bit.
yes? So you should be able to move your characters there wherever you want them to be. I think everybody should have control. Shawn, you should be able to control Jeff as well, I believe. So show me where you're going.
I'm following. Sherry and me are following Carol.
Okay, I'm going to try this door here.
Yeah, it's open.
Okay, I'm going to peek in before I... Like, just to see if anyone's going to see me.
Yeah. Yeah, you don't see anybody in there. It looks like a grungy sort of factory room.
Okay, I'm gonna message, oh my god, I'm gonna use my walkie-talkie to contact Tracy and ask which door, because remembering the blueprints, I know there's like a few different ones, like there's ones up here and then there's that one, and just try and make sure that I'm going the right direction kind of thing.
Yeah. I tell her that it's around the side, so around the corner from the cinema, where the cinema was,
Oh,
where
right,
I came.
okay.
And meanwhile, now that I've gained entrance here, I'm going to be looking first of all for cameras. Do I see any cameras?
You don't see any cameras in this room. Yeah, but it looks like you're right. This is where there's some pallets there where some deliveries have been made and things have been dropped here. All right. And you guys can continue moving till you meet up with each other if you like.
Okay, that's what I do.
All right.
I'm imagining that we probably like go to same time,
Yeah.
Yeah.
near each other.
Kind of,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. For sure.
I almost squirt. I almost squirt butter. But
I wasn't sure how that sentence was gonna end.
whoa, no.
I was like,
Oh dear.
This is a family show.
it is a family show. It is a family show. Okay, so now we're all in this room with the big conveyor belt stuff.
Yes. Yeah. So you can see there doesn't seem to be anything on these conveyor belts, though. They don't seem to be like in motion or in use, and it's all very like grungy and old down here.
Wow.
Are they dirty and whatever?
Yes. Yeah. They're not like shining aluminum or anything like that. It looks a bit run down and dingy and gross and creepy.
Oh wow. Okay.
This is the capitalist way.
So it looks like, maybe something used to get produced down here, but they're not using this anymore for that. And when you did the tour upstairs, you can see that they have all of the production stuff that they need for the actual business up there on that first floor.
I'm gonna look for any like warning signs or anything that look like the radiation symbol I would have studied, just to see if like in a factory setting, what kind of warnings that they were giving to their workers, and just to kind of get an idea of what they're dealing with down here.
In 1983, we all knew what the radiation symbol looked like.
Yeah. So you maybe do see a box in the corner that contains a bunch of old signs that have that kind of warning symbology on them, as if they used to be up but are not anymore, like they were taken down. Yeah.
All right. Still no sign of cameras?
Yeah, no cameras.
Okay.
And the wailing is coming from like this direction, and there's a door
Yes.
here, so.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep, absolutely. So cautiously open this door and then sneak out. It looks like there's some equipment here, so I'll probably be doing the hunched walk kind of thing.
Okay, so you're kind of crouching behind this equipment.
Yeah.
Yep, sounds good. All right, so when you guys open this door, you can hear much more loudly this sort of painful / distraught sobbing / crying / screaming. And when you come around the corner, you can see Ruth. The first thing you see is Ruth here, kind of crouched on the ground with her hands around her head, and she is the source of that screaming.
Oh, that's Ruth Jones, right?
Yeah.
Yes, that's Ruth Jones.
Right?
That's Ruth Jones,
That's
the leader
her.
of the leader of the garden club, and she seems like totally distraught. She's swatting at stuff around her head and just crying and shaking. And she's hunched. She's crouched down on the ground, but you don't see anything around her.
All right.
Oh my God.
Tracy is still going to be cautious, is still sort of moving up gradually.
Sneaky.
Yeah, I don't know if someone else who feels more empathy is going to directly approach, but I've seen too many movies.
Yeah, I'm
So
too
you're
suspicious.
You're trying to do this stealthily and quietly.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'd like you to make a check for that. This is actually going to be an opposed check.
Is this something we should each be doing if we are each planning to sneak up?
Yes.
Okay.
So let's do Tracy first.
All right. Would this be flight or grit?
Well, probably flight would be the most sensical one. But if you want to argue grit, you could. You're trying to be quiet, right?
Flight's good.
Yep.
All right. I get a 10, so or add to that, do I?
You get a 10.
Yeah.
So this is an opposed check. The opposed value was 2. So let me get my other little table out here.
I should say I got the 10 on a D10 is what I meant. So
That's
do I?
yeah. No, you don't, because you succeeded. If you
Okay.
hadn't succeeded, the die would explode and you'd get to roll again and add that. But since you're going against a 2 right now, 10 is just fine.
Yeah, you don't need to roll again.
And all right, so you've been extremely, extremely stealthy. And so what I'm going to say is that
You're on top of the
move this
machine.
over here. What you can see now is, you've climbed up there, and you can see Sally of Sally's Sense is standing here. She hasn't noticed you at all, and she's got her hands out in front of her, directed towards Ruth, and she's sort of like mumbling under her breath.
Oh my God. She's a witch.
Step Lord. No, we didn't call them that yet.
So does everybody else want to do their little stealth check?
Oh yeah.
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 You roll the 7.
I rolled a 7, but I'm also very concerned about Sherry. Sherry's my buddy now.
I rolled a
Okay.
9.
So Jeff, something happened. What did you say? What was the number that you rolled?
7.
Okay, so you feel like you were fairly quiet, but
I am clumsy.
yeah. Okay, so maybe you tried to be really quiet, but you did make a bit of noise, and we'll come back to what happens in a sec. So you feel like you've been noticed. Jill, did you say that you made your roll?
I made a 9.
So
Or I
Carol
rolled
gets
a
9. Wow, Carol gets 9, and you feel like you were pretty quiet. But I rolled another 20. So she noticed you. Jason, what did you get?
4.
All right. So again, like you were pretty loud. You were pretty loud. So
I'm not used to being sneaky.
yeah, exactly. So, do we want to roll for Sherry?
Yeah, I can roll for Sherry if you want.
She gets a D12.
Sherry got 7.
All right, so Sherry doesn't seem to have been noticed either. So Sherry, you can move her to wherever you think she should be.
It's
All
good
right.
if Sherry's not noticed. That's good.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Okay. So what happens is, Tracy, you can see suddenly as your friends start to kind of come up behind you, you hear embarrassing racket coming from some of them. Some of them are very stealthy, but you do hear some
Me and
noise.
Jeff.
And yeah, exactly. And you can see Sally whips her head around and notices.
Are her eyes a funny color?
They don't look normal.
Yeah.
Are they glowing?
Yeah. She
I've read
stops mumbling.
comics. I know what's going on here.
Yeah, she stops mumbling, and as a result of that, Ruth is
Oh, I think we
still.
lost everybody again.
Oh no!
Everybody's froze.
They froze and froze.
We can still
Let it
hear
go.
you.
Let it go.
Oh no, we're gonna get stung with copyright now.
I think it's okay if you sing it.
Oh, okay.
Okay, can you guys hear us again?
We can hear you now, yeah.
Okay. Whew, that was a tense moment to lose everyone.
Yeah.
Right. So Sally seems to notice you. She kind of the noise distracts her from what she was doing. She kind of pulls her hands back and looks towards the sound. Ruth immediately stops wailing quite so loud, but she's still sort of, very distraught and swatting at some stuff. So it looks like, there's still something going on, but it's not as like targeted as it. And
like Sally was the direct cause of Ruth's.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. And she says, "Who's there?" Sally, of course. Ruth is whimpering on the ground.
Who brought the camera?
Me.
Okay.
So in this room, I want to point a few things out. As you're looking around, you can see these sort of big vats all around. They do have radioactivity labels on them. And so this room, a lot of the rest of this floor has looked a lot like a factory, like a production area. But Tracy, you can see into this room over here, and it looks more like a research lab, right? So there's like some cages with some animals, some rats. In them, and there's like lab equipment and vials and like these tubes with colorful ingredients bubbling around in them, a little burner with a flame underneath like a beaker, it's
Science.
like, very
Classic.
mad scientist, like it looks like a mad scientist lab.
Beautiful.
And that's what you can see over in this area. And yeah, the radioactive symbols on these containers throughout the room.
Do any of you guys have a lighter?
Yeah, and so right now we're we're going to be starting like an initiative situation. You guys technically got the jump on her, so I'm going to let you all declare an action before Sally gets to go.
I was thinking that maybe my camera was the noise that I made that she heard. I'm taking photos.
Sure.
And because this is going to be like a completely manual camera. It's going, even if it's not making any other noises, there's that little bitty shutter noise.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So she looks over. She looks over and she can see the little camera. Yeah.
You had the bad luck of it happening just as Ruth had to like take a breath for the next round of screeching. So, click. That doesn't sound like my enemy in mortal pain.
Yeah.
Then you get to the end of the roll and it's like
Crank, 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 crank.
automatically re-rolling all the camera. Yeah. All right. So Jeff, your action is snapping some pictures.
Yeah, I'm continuing to photograph.
Okay, sounds good.
I've got and if we've been discovered, I'm using flash.
Oh shit. Oh shoot.
Darn.
Dang.
Sugar muffins. All right.
Okay. Cool. So.
Yep. So that's Jeff.
I'm
Everyone
gonna
else
pull
gets
a
to-
can of hairspray out of my bag because I definitely have hairspray because I had to do Sherry, make sure my hair is always looking, big.
Yeah.
And I'm just gonna say, like, does anyone have a lighter? None of you smoke? Seriously? We're teenagers in the 80s.
I would have a lighter just because I would think that's the manly thing to have.
Yeah.
Would that be the popular thing to do in the 80s? Would be to smoke if you were?
Oh yeah. Oh,
I would have a lighter then.
Yeah.
You would either have a lighter or you would have one of those round white circles on your back pocket because you had a thing of Copenhagen or Skull in your back pocket.
There you go.
So I'll
What is
pass
that?
you my lighter.
We're nasty, yo.
Okay.
Okay.
So I'm gonna do the get ready to.
You're getting ready to
do the classic
Yeah.
Scream and yeah.
Yeah.
scream and spray. The old scream and
yeah.
spray. Yeah.
I'm torn between. I'm torn between firing the butter at her feet so we can trip her up,
Ooh.
or sneaking over to release those animals so they can eat.
You
Okay.
are still stealthed.
I am.
Yeah, she hasn't
and
seen you yet.
feel like she hasn't seen you yet. So I don't
Yeah.
think Tracy would reveal himself unless he had to.
Yeah, I think Tracy is going to, Tracy is going to discreetly make his way over to these cages and see if I can
Along the
along
cabinetry
the
at the
cap.
top.
Yep. So there's this little pathway here.
Yeah. And I'm
All
going to
right.
make my way over there, see if I can release the creations, give her. I mean, kind of looks like a mad scientist. I think this would be apropos.
Sure. So yeah, we'll have to do another stealth to see if you can do this without her noticing. I'm gonna give her a -5 on this D20 roll because she is distracted by
And there's like
the
flash.
camera.
Yeah.
Big cheese, jerk.
So,
Flash.
all right. Well, she rolled a -1. You can go ahead and roll. All right. She does not notice you. There's a lot going on, and she does not notice you at all. So you can make your way over to this area, kind of wherever you want to be. There's not really any rules about like movement distances, but these rooms aren't overly huge. So I'm saying, yeah, you can get over there. So you're going to open these.
That's my plan. I guess, can I do that now or do that next turn? Or?
Yeah, you can do that as sort of your main. So that was sort of like a move thing.
Okay.
What's Sherry doing, you guys?
Good
We'll
question.
figure that
So-
out next.
Yeah, so the cages open.
What are in the cages? I should ask before I do that.
Sure. Well, you can see that there's 2 rats in each of 2 cages, and they do not appear quite like normal rats to you. They look a little strange. They look quite a bit bigger. Like you can see. Well, I don't know. Anyways, it's just a depiction. But I meant for them to be like big, and they remind you a lot of that beaver that you saw.
Beaver
Right,
rats.
okay, I'm going to release these things, and then next turn, if they start moving out, I'm going to like get all sorts of yummy food on her.
Okay, sounds
No
good.
one can resist popcorn, butter from the teeth.
Sure. Yeah.
All
As far as you know, that's true.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I mean, she is an unholy abomination, so
Right.
it's possible.
But like, yeah, like that's been your life experience, is that if there's buttered popcorn, it's impossible to resist.
For the rats.
Yeah, yeah. All right, so the doors to that are open, and I think we still have something from Sherry, something from Jason. Carol, you're just kind of standing.
Yeah, I'm holding. I want to like hold my action for if they come. Like, yeah, I want to move to like here, and if they come close enough, I want to be like.
Okay.
As a reactionary action.
Yep. What are you thinking, Jason?
Jason's gonna move out here.
Okay.
He's so brave.
Well, he can't do anything if he's like hidden behind something. He's a melee fighter.
Yeah. Carol swoons a little.
You didn't bring your ranged weapon.
No, I didn't.
Okay.
Well, my strengths are like heroic.
Yeah.
So I have to like.
Yeah. This is definitely.
I'm heroic and reckless, so I would run out there.
So in character, yeah.
And the tire iron that was in my sleeve, I'll like slip it out and I'll like hold it. And I'll basically yell like, "Get away from her! What are you doing?
You
like,
jerk!"
Stop that.
Yeah. Okay. So you.
So, like, I'm not attacking, but I'm like yelling at her and like.
Taunting.
Ready? Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Sounds good. All right. What about Sherry?
I would like to think she's trying to be stealthy, so I'm kind of staying away from her because she hasn't been noticed.
Mm-hmm.
But I am keeping an eye towards her because one of my strengths is protective, and I can kind of sense she's bonded with me a little bit, so I'm feeling protective of her.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I'm sure if anything happened to Jeff, she would like jump in.
Death ray time.
Yeah, for sure. Okay.
Yeah.
So,
I feel like Sherry would probably like hold like at the ready.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because she's probably scared too. Like she doesn't know if this lady's the reason that she's been like, she's gone through what she's gone through.
Yeah.
And that was my question: is does she know or sense or have a past with Sally?
Yeah, she doesn't. Well, I mean, you guys all kind of get to control her, so I'll say that you all kind of know, if you can keep it separate, like meta-wise from your own characters. You know that she doesn't know Sally in particular. Yeah. So.
So she's not like cowering. Oh my God, it's that woman.
No. Yeah. No.
Just kind of.
But a lot of this stuff, like the rats, for example, she's seen lots of examples of that down in the caves down there. So.
Yeah, so she's probably staying up high because she sees Tracy releasing rats and staying in the shadows for right now, right?
Mm-hmm.
Sure. Yeah, that makes sense. All right, so Ruth just continues to, it looks like she's maybe trying to get it together, but things have let up, but she's still kind of incapacitated on the ground, sort of like, looking around and kind of coming out of it, but she doesn't get to do anything this turn. Sally, on the other hand, does seem to be doing something. She is, I'm going to say she's facing this way, obviously looking at you guys, right? But while she's doing that, she whips her hand around behind her like this and kind of closes her eyes and like blinks a little bit. And you can see that the rats come out of the cage.
Uh-oh.
Shawn, you noticed that you did open the doors to the cages, but they sort of like open up wider when this happens.
Okay.
As if she opened the doors as well.
Oh, this was her plan. Okay.
You're helping her.
Oh no, whose side are you on?
So these rats are very quick. They're gonna make it let's say like this.
Ah!
Maybe we'll do
But
like
they
this.
came away from you, so that's a good thing.
Yeah, well, she didn't know that he was there, right?
She's probably mentally commanding them.
Yes. Yeah. So yeah, you see the doors to these little cages open, and then you see the mice like or rats like scurrying out. They're making gross rat noises. I don't know. I'm not gonna try that, but you can imagine that.
Giant gross rat noises.
Yes. Yeah, and like not normal rat noise. Like
Yeah, their teeth are probably like the size of our face.
You realize it's 2 years early for us to make, or 3 years early for us to make rats of unusual size jokes.
It
Yeah.
is.
A few
However,
years too
if I
early. Yeah.
recall correctly,
The novel.
one of the movies that I would have had on Betamax would be The Secrets of Nim.
Aw.
The Secret of Nim.
Ooh.
And didn't that have giant, like some large
It
rats?
had similar themes to this,
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
All right. So once she does that, you can see that it seems to have been pretty taxing for her, and you can see she's tears streaming from her eyes as a result of having done that.
As a reaction, can I spray fire at one of the rats?
Yes, go ahead.
Ah! So what do I roll for that?
Well, what do you roll for that?
Okay, because I feel like it would be a brain situation because I was using my brain to come up with a creative solution with the items in my bag and then, asking for a lighter to try and smartly, wait, how do I hold, like, the lighter and then the sprayer?
Chemistry.
And just kind of point it at the rat.
Okay. Sure. So can you show me which rat you're targeting?
Yep. I don't want to hit, who's right in front of me?
Your brother.
Me.
Okay, I don't want to hit Jeff, so I want to aim at the one that's like
Alright.
a bit diagonal.
Yeah.
I'm taking pictures of the giant rat too. I'm like,
The one right in front of you, you're like,
Okay. So you're going against this 18.
I rolled a 2.
Okay.
Big old 2 on a d20.
You could spend 16.
grit points or adversity tokens.
Yeah.
I only got 2. So
Okay. Yeah, that's not gonna. All right. So let's see. All right. So what's happened here is, in your mind you worked it all out how this should
Yep.
happen.
Yep.
But this is a physical skill that you're attempting, and so that just wasn't quite enough. So it doesn't go quite where you anticipated that it would. But in addition to that, this rat is like very quick and sort of reacts very quickly, moves out of the way, and it's looking at you now.
I'm gonna try
Good
and
try.
learn from this experience.
Okay.
So does this mean I get another adversity token?
You do, yes. You get another adversity token as a result of having failed.
Okay.
Yep. So yeah, you can see that these rats are very quick.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, very, very quick. That's the thing they are best at.
Perfect.
Great.
All right, so I think that is Sally. I'm going to say that that's it for the rats as well, because they had to move quite a far distance to get to you guys. So you can each do something again.
Cool. Tracy's planning to come up behind her, spray her with a butter, and meanwhile shaking a Coke, spray her with the Coke. Because I have seen the rats if someone doesn't clean up the food that's spilt in the cinema, and I'm betting these are the same rats or the same family. So
Okay, so you're just trying to
concentration.
You're just
You're
trying-
making her slippery and sticky and
Busy.
unpleasant.
Make her slippery, sticky, delicious to rats, and break her mental hold over the rats. That's
Okay.
mess up her concentration.
Exactly.
And so you're basically just trying to hit her, like cover her.
Yeah, I mean, still fight, I think, because she doesn't want me to do the thing. But I mean, I'm not looking to inflict damage per se.
Yeah.
Just status conditions.
Really nice business suit.
Yeah.
Oh, good. Well, this is going to be great.
So this isn't going to be an opposed check then, because I think like she's looking the other way. You're just trying to hit like a stationary target.
Yeah.
So we're gonna call this a difficulty. We'll call it a difficulty 7.
Were you supposed to be rolling a d20?
No, I wasn't supposed to be rolling a d7. All right, d12. I got a 6. I'll use another adversity 7.
Okay.
No, that's a 9.
Oh, I got a 9.
That's
Never
a 9
mind.
because the 6 has a dot.
There
That
you
was
go.
a 9.
There you go. I won't spend
All
any
right.
of this. I take it back.
Good thing I'm here for you, babe.
Yeah.
I love bringing new people into gaming.
Oh, thanks, honey. Yeah.
Wait, what's going on? Okay, I changed it so she's got a little
Stink
this,
line.
This status means something else entirely. It technically means half size, but that's not what it means for
It
us.
looks
It
like
means she's
stink line.
It means she's stinky. Yeah, she's stinky.
I like it.
I like it
She's got
too.
a snack on it. Yeah.
Little wop.
She's sticky.
I'm actually not seeing that here yet, but or is it supposed to
It's
be on
kind
the
of-
icon, or?
It's just above Sally's shoulder.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I see that thing.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay.
All right, well done.
I'm going to hit this rat with my tire iron
Okie dokie.
because it's coming at me.
Sounds good.
So I'm gonna make a brawn check.
Okay, that makes sense. Go ahead.
$11.
All right, the rat gets a 2. So, all right, because of the degree to which you succeeded, the defender here, the rat, is going to be badly hurt.
Yes.
You get to explain the attack and how the rat responded to it, and yeah, basically you get to explain narratively how this happened. You've seriously damaged the rat.
Since it rolled so low, I'm gonna say like I swung at it and it tried to like dodge, but just like underestimated where I was gonna go, and basically like almost ran into my tire iron, and I just like whacked it, and it fell over, and it's still alive, but it's like what like.
Yeah, that's right. And so it's not dead, but we'll put another fun little status on it. Where's like a stunned? There's got to be a stunned. Is there no stunned?
You can make up which one stunned is.
Yeah.
What about
After-
fishing net?
Ooh, I like it.
All right, fishing net
Perfect.
means stunned. So now we won't forget. Okay. I'm having fun with this.
Yeah.
I like the little symbols on
Me
roll.
too.
Yeah. Cute. All right, so that little rat is stunned and not looking so hot.
Yes.
So we've got Tracy, we've got Jason. Carol, your thing that you last did was a reaction, so
Right.
you'll get to go again right now. Jeff, you'll get to go again, and Sherry will get to go still.
Okay, I'm gonna try doing a wide sweep. I noticed that they are. I'm using my brains again. I've noticed that they're very quick, so I want to try doing more of a wide sweep to try and hit the 2 rats that are up on the on the machine. So
Machinery.
I'm trying to learn from my mistake previously.
Instead of just.
Yeah,
one
instead of being like,
area.
ah!
Yeah.
I want to.
Okay. All right, so I think I want to give you. This is actually a mechanic of this game or not, but I want to I guess I'll give you bonus
Okay.
to this because you're still going to get to use your brains.
Yeah.
And we'll give you like a +1 because you learned from last time.
Learning.
But they are still very fast. So I'm gonna. Do you want to roll separately for each of these rats, or is it just sort of one fell swoop attack? It seems like one, right?
I guess I'm attacking once, but each of them would get to defend themselves.
Yep. Yep. Okay, so you go ahead and roll your d20, I believe. Is that what it is?
17, and if you're giving me that +1, that's 18.
All right, so the first rat rolls a 7, and the second one rolls a 15. So they are both hit by this. So one of them is
I get a great photo.
Oh, yeah! It's like,
of these rats on fire. One of them is hurt, but only temporarily. So this one that rolled 15 is sort of grazed a little bit. And the other one, what did you roll again? 17?
18 with your +1. So I rolled a 17, but I got the +1 to make 18.
All right, so that other rat looks like it's completely dead. So you can narrate what happens to both of those little rats, knowing that one of them is completely out, one of them is just hurt a little bit.
So I'm spraying it, and I noticed the one that's a bit farther away from me isn't getting it as much because the spray isn't as wide maybe as I hoped it would be. But the one in front of me, so I just kind of like focus the fire on that one and just kind of like
just
a
burns
long
down to a
spray
crisp.
burn it down to a little crispy rat.
So which one is that?
The one right in front of me. So
this one
yes,
here?
That one.
All right. We'll give it this status.
Okay.
All right. So that rat seems to be kind of out of commission. It looks dead.
Hey, do we see any empty containers that, like, we saw the containers that had radioactive stuff in them. Are there any empty barrels like that?
Yeah, sure. Let's say that some of these ones back here are empty. So it looks like they're storing them over here full, and then these ones might be getting ready to be disposed of.
Or like they're being used and like they're not full.
That's where, like that room is where they're being used.
If the radiation has caused her powers, something that stores the radiation safely might, if we put her in it, might block her powers.
Potentially.
That's pretty smart.
Interesting.
20 brain.
Yeah.
Might be a good thought to have before I alerted her by spraying an entire film's worth of junk food on her. But oh well.
All right. So we still need, I believe, Jeff and Sherry to act.
Jeff, that's you.
Yeah, Jeff can go first.
Okay. I seriously, I'm taking pictures, y'all. I'm not fighting at all. I'm like,
just snapping so many pictures. All right.
Neither am I backing away from Sherry.
Okay.
And Sherry would probably be trying to defend you while you're preoccupied.
I'm taking pictures of everything that's happening and not doing a dang thing as far as offense goes.
Sherry's got your back.
All right.
Any of you guys can decide what something Sherry might do.
My fight is D4.
I want to make a suggestion. I want to make a suggestion that Sherry could use like a energy blast to kill the other rat.
I was gonna say
it's
she
temporarily
would probably
injured.
the rat right in front of Jeff.
Yeah.
To protect him.
I don't remember who has the energy blast power for Sherry.
It's Kim.
Oh, then I'll.
Do you want to do that?
I'll have Sherry do a zap. Yeah.
All right.
What?
So that's going to be a difficulty 5.
What die do we associate with that?
2d4.
Okay.
Where did Jeff go on roll 20?
He's underneath. Or he and Sherry on the same spot.
They're in.
They're occupying the same.
What?
Jeff is like
Disappeared.
Can I borrow your?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay. 7.
Ooh.
All right. Looks good. So that succeeds.
And so.
Yeah, I would say.
The one closest.
Yeah, so this guy right here has just been hit by a giant bolt of energy. It's very impressive. Because he was already damaged. Oh, there's actually this one too. I like that one better. change this status to that too. Take this off, put this on.
Yeah,
These
the old
two
one
now.
looked a little more empowering.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
old one looked like they had become deadly through nuclear force.
Right. Yeah. Which not incorrect.
Right.
That could easily be the case.
No,
Yeah.
please.
Yeah. All right. Sounds good. So, okay. So,
I
yeah.
immediately fumble for the cupcakes.
Oh, yeah.
Sure. Yep. Okay. So, we'll say that she can't eat a cupcake right now because it's like,
Well, I'm clumsy. Yeah.
yeah. Yeah. All right. So I guess it's now Sally's turn once again. What will Sally do?
Sally has
All
this
right.
Hopefully she crawls into one of those chambers and contains herself.
He said,
Yeah.
Sally has the scent now.
She
Oh, yeah,
is.
she is.
Yes.
Yeah.
She does not seem impressed by this, Tracy, and she whips around and looks at you and puts her hand out and starts to whisper some words. You can't hear what she says, but let's see. Yep. She... Let me just keep
Well, that
track
doesn't
of
look
her
good.
energy. So she's gesturing towards you and whispering, and all of a sudden your mind is consumed by a very terrible memory from when you were young and being bullied at school. So there's like a group of bullies surrounding you. This isn't even necessarily something that you remember actually happening to you, but it's so real and so intense that you're overcome by this memory. And yeah, everybody else sees Tracy
Do the
sheltering
thing.
himself again. It looks like he's like getting beat up, but you don't see anything around him. Yeah. So he's kind of incoherent and screaming again as well, but there's nothing around him. And Sally is kind of gesturing towards him and mumbling.
On roll 20 and the little status symbols on the bottom, there's a little screaming one if you want to have fun with that.
Oh, there's a screaming one?
Where?
Oh,
On the
hold
bottom row.
Dude, I gotta move this thing out of the way. A screaming one.
Oh, I see.
Like one of the stats.
Oh, man, there are so many more of these than I thought. I didn't realize you could roll. Oh, here we go.
I'm empowered now.
Oh, yeah, that's a really good one.
Yeah.
Perfect.
We use it for frightened effects.
Yeah, that's perfect. Okay, cool. So then this little rat is going to come over here, Jason, and it's going to lash out at you. Jill. Or was it Jill who did that?
Yeah, that was.
All right, so
Don't let it get your badminton arm.
So yeah, it's gonna jump up on you and bite you with
What would I roll to oppose this?
Well, you can choose how you would like to do that.
Charm it.
Yeah, so like whatever you choose, you'll just have to explain to me how you use that stat to do this.
I would probably just hold the tire iron up to try to block it, just hold
Okay.
it off.
Mm-hmm.
So I would like to use brawn again if I could,
Sure.
because that's what my character's about.
Sure. So we're gonna roll this. And then you can roll your... All right. So the rat kind of leaps towards you, but what happens?
I block it with the tire iron, and it
And
just
it,
bites the iron and
Yeah.
jumps
obviously.
back down, ready to come. I don't hurt it, but I block it.
But you're also not hurt. Yep.
Yeah.
Perfect. Okay. Sounds good. All right, everyone. Once again, it is your turn.
What's Ruth up to? Still suffering?
Yeah.
Okay.
But I'm not going to put the screamy thing on her because seems like kind of better now.
Yeah,
Okay.
she's
Maybe
like
she
slowly like.
Maybe she might do something this turn.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, stuff
Wow.
like that happens to you for as long as it was happening to her before we got. It takes a minute to shake off, right?
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
I know what I'm gonna do, so I might as well go first. I
Sure.
block the rat, it jumps down, and then I swing at it.
Okay. Go ahead. Roll. What is it? Brawn again?
Yep.
Okie dokie. 13. And this little ratsy only rolled 8. So why don't you explain what happens there? You succeeded by about 5.
Exactly.
So I
So
swing at it. I hurt it. It looks kind of hurt, but not like.
It's
I'm
going to
guessing
be
it's not like.
fairly hurt actually.
Okay.
Yeah. Dazed and likely concussed, but not dead, and not immobilized.
Was the other one immobilized?
Yeah, the other one was sort of. I think that the other one was a little bit worse than that, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was a bit worse.
Yeah, it was a little bit worse. Yeah. So
Awesome.
let's do. Where's
So I have two very low health rats here for you guys to deal with, or you can deal with Sally, and I'll keep these guys busy.
Let's do this.
Okay. I have a notion for Sherry's actions. Tracy's just screaming this turn.
Okay, yeah.
Sherry has noticed that using her that Sally seems to use her hands for her powers, or at least some powers.
Yep.
So she is going to use her ability to shape the cave the feet up and try to pin her arms.
Okay, so from the ground.
From the concrete floor of the basement?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Sounds good. So let's call this let's see. Let's call this, because you're going to have to form the ground underneath the floor. It's going to be much more tricky than anything she's ever tried with this before. So we're going to call that like a difficulty 7.
And that's with 2d4?
That's with 2d4. She's got 5 psychic energy left, so this works where you can add extra psychic energy to make this success if she doesn't roll enough.
Okay, can she use her adversity as well, or?
Not for one of her psychic energy powers. She could use adversity tokens if she was like a normal check.
Yeah. And if I roll if I fail, but I roll a 4 on, to roll that die again, or?
Yes. Actually, I don't know if that's true for psychic energy. Let's see what you get. We're looking for 7.
Meanwhile, I'm just gonna roll the dice.
Yeah, go ahead.
Alternately, if she could just open up a hole under her, bam, down into the cave.
Considered that too, but I figured we probably want her alive, maybe? I don't know.
Well, I mean, bowling doesn't
Spoiler
necessarily...
alert, after this, Carol's gonna try and light her on fire, so...
Don't worry about
So,
hurting her, yeah.
so I don't...
Spoiler alert, Carol has hairspray left in the can that she wants to use.
Yeah.
So I don't think that these... Oh, sorry. These D4 don't explode the way that a normal stat check die would.
So I got a 4. So if I pump 3 more points of psychic energy in, it would succeed?
Yep.
Okay.
And she has 5 left, so you could bring her down to 2 to do that.
Yep. Okay.
Going for it?
Yeah.
All right. So, why don't you explain what that looks like? This will have a fairly negative repercussions for Sherry because it took a lot of energy.
Right. So the oh, that's messed up. Okay, cool. So the ground starts shaking a little bit, and it's sort of cracking beneath Sally's feet, and all of a sudden, this sort of rock, massive deposits of rock come up and just crunch her.
Ouch.
Yeah. And
Are you looking to restrain or to crush?
it's not crushing, restraining. I mean, it'll still leave the head open, set the head on fire.
So yeah, you're trying to like restrain her hands specifically.
Yeah.
Right?
Basically, the notion was that the hands were seemed to be essential to her practice. So
Yes.
take the wand away from the warlock.
Sure.
Now the thing is, Sherry, instead of where in the past using her powers have made her look younger, in this case it's making her look older, and she's actually looking a lot like Sally right now.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I put the camera away to feed a cupcake.
Okay.
Great.
Like you're using your turn to give her an extra psychic point.
Yes.
Okay.
All right. So we'll give her back 3 of her psychic energy. So she's back at
Ooh.
5. All right. Has everybody else? Carol needs to go. Is that true?
Did I go this turn?
Not this turn.
Oh, okay.
Nope. I think you still weren't. You gonna?
Yeah, I wanted to
burn-
flamethrower. Okay, so Carol
So
comes
she's
around.
so she's completely restrained by this rock formation. Yeah.
I'm gonna glance at Ruth just kind of before I do it, as like is Ruth gonna be mad if I do this? Just to kind of see if her
Permission.
face, like what her face says. Can I get a read on Ruth at all?
Ruth is like watching what is happening.
But she's not trying to stop
and-
me or anything.
No, she's like, go for it. Yeah, she's like wanting you to do it.
Okay,
She
so
looks like so pissed. You've never seen an old lady as pissed as.
okay, so I let it go and I start spraying where I think it would be the most effective, especially because she's covered in butter. That was kind of why I was thinking maybe the
Oil.
Yeah, the oil and
yeah.
everything would be really effective.
Okay, sounds good.
Rose,
So go ahead and make
Can I
your
roll
roll.
brains again? My
Sure.
tried and true and
Yeah.
okay. I rolled a big old 5.
Okay, so she's actually going to roll her grit because she can't really use flight, but she's going to use her grit to just try and tough this out. She actually gets a +1 to grit because she's an adult. So she gets a 10, which means, I don't know, maybe she just like ducks her head into this rock formation and yeah, like
it defends her a little bit. Okay, yep.
yeah,
Well,
so
she's slippery, so she just
Yeah.
like into the
Can adversity tokens be spent for other people's actions or only for your own?
If you're helping them.
if it's a
think.
planned action.
Okay.
Yeah, so I wonder if you could use adversity tokens back, Jill.
Because
Maybe.
I mean,
What
I
was
have
your attack
3.
value?
I have 5. I
Okay,
have
so what
3
was your?
adversity tokens.
So she has a 10.
I have 2 adversity tokens left, and I did light her up. Is being used in the action.
Could
Okay.
Sherry use hers because she was the one who restrained?
True.
Right. So
Like she's
typically
helping.
other people can't use their adversity tokens to help somebody else on planned action. However, I'm going to say that in this case, Tracy and Sherry could, because of what you just said, Tracy. You buttered her up. I feel like that would make her a little bit more flammable than usual.
Yeah.
And Sherry's the one who is kind of controlling that rock formation. So maybe if Sally tries to duck around, then Sherry can respond by moving the rock formation a little bit.
In the
So
service of awesome.
Yeah.
exactly. So I'm just letting you know that typically this would be allowed, but I'm the kind of the kind of player where if you can make me a good argument for it and it's fun, then I think it should happen. So Sherry has what I have 4 written down, but did you guys say 3 adversity tokens?
I had 3.
Yeah, they had, a couple of us had 3. We had Sherry as having, and
I had Sherry as having 4, so I think she has 4.
Okay.
yeah, that's
And
cool.
I have
so-
2.
Okay.
I was holding up the 2 from me. Sorry.
Yep, that's okay. You can't use them here anyway.
Okay, I just
So-
spent my 3 to bring it up
And I
to an
spent
8.
1.
Sean spends 1 to bring it up to 9, and then Sherry spends 1 to bring it up to 10.
Yeah.
Do you want to spend more to make it more effective?
Yeah, I can spend another one.
Because this is one of the, and Sherry has 3 left, and this is one of those an opposed check like this is one of those ones where the more you beat the number by, the more damaged.
I don't
Is
see why Sherry wouldn't just spend all of hers.
Yeah,
I'm
Like,
okay with
just
that.
put the rest in.
Would
Yeah.
being psychically tortured by an evil mutant generate adversity for me? Because I feel like I'm pretty adverse circumstance right now.
You get adversity tokens when you fail at something.
I see, and that wasn't a contested action. It was just something she did.
Well, it was, but she did it to you, so you.
Okay, it has to be something I fail at actively. All right,
I believe so.
I'm cool
All right,
with
but
that.
we'll say that Sherry spends her last 3.
And I'll
so
spend
that-
mine. Yeah, go ahead.
Your last, how many did you have?
I
2 more?
had 2, so I'll use 1 more. Because
So you've-
I used, yeah.
You succeeded by 5, Jill.
So I had 5, and then I spent 3.
And
Hmm.
now I'm adding 2.
So
And Sherry added
Sherry
4.
added 3. 4.
so
She
that's
added 4
14, right?
Yeah, so you've succeeded by 5.
Oh, I see what you mean.
4.
By 4.
You succeeded by 4 because she had the +1 to her 9.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, all right. The defender is fairly hurt. It's very similar to this this rat right here. But I'm gonna call her. Yeah. So what happens, Jill?
So whatever part of her that
If
is
you can, if you can incorporate both of the things that helped you.
right. So
Yeah.
whatever part of her that is exposed from the rock, and then maybe Sherry helps a little bit to expose more of her back and more of her like buttery backside. And then I use the areas that are covered in butter to aim. That's where I'm kind of focusing my fire.
Yeah.
And she ignites a bit.
Yes. So
And
she's.
like her like clothing's melting a bit onto her, and it's bad.
Because it's the 80s, it was all that double knit polyester stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. And it's like I don't know if you guys have seen The Thing, like those kind of like the bubbling and practical effects sort of situation.
Yep. All right. Sounds good.
Can I just say, y'all are gross.
Jeff is just over here documenting.
Oh right. That's true.
Camera away.
My incriminating actions are not being
Shoving cupcakes in Sherry's mouth. All right. So, okay. So we'll say Sally is like, very much in pain, and that's caused her to be distracted from anything that she was doing. Also, her hands are bound. Ruth takes this opportunity she sort of tears a piece of fabric off of the shirt that she had on and wraps it around Sally's mouth, because she also happens to have noticed that the vocalizations seem to be important as well. And she says, "Oh my goodness, thank goodness for all me." She's like, "There's been such such terrible things happening down here," and she pulls her little wallet out of her pocket and flips it open to show you a CSIS badge. She says, you guys saved my life, but don't worry, I've got backup coming in." And she pulls out her little radio and says some like secret agent sounding code word stuff to call in
Snowbird.
call in the reinforcement.
If I hear her say snowbird, I'm like, I knew it was the birds.
Yeah. Yeah. So
All of a sudden, every glass window in that lower room there breaks simultaneously. Somewhere.
all these old ladies start coming in. Yeah. So before that happens, though, before that happens, though, Ruth, she stops for a second and she's looking at Sherry and she says, "Sherry, honey, Sherry, is that you?" And she's like, "Oh my goodness, oh my goodness!" And she pulls out from her, like inside of her jacket pocket, she pulls out this little doll. It looks like an old, like child's doll. She says, "Sherry, we've never stopped looking for you. Your parents have never stopped looking for you." And she shows this doll to Sherry, who recognizes it immediately as a childhood toy of her from all those years ago when she was lost in the caves.
Threatened. Why, Sherry? I'm feeling threatened.
Okay, I'll let ET go home. Part of the genre.
I don't have that on Betamax.
So yes, while the reinforcements come in and sort of secure Sally and take her with them, Ruth can explain to you guys anything that you might have questions about.
Meanwhile, is Jason like finishing off these two rats that might stand
If
back?
they're unconscious,
So the-
I'm
yeah,
just
so
gonna
the
let them.
rat-
Okay.
Yeah, the rats, once Sally is no longer controlling anything, they just kind of like turn and scurry away
Yeah.
if they can.
Start
Like if they're
eating,
not
like,
attacking
popcorn
us,
butter.
I let them just like
Yeah.
do whatever.
Yeah.
I
back?
ask Ruth if the birds are hers. Basically, like, are they part of this? Are they part of the organization?
Yeah, so she says, "Pardon? Part of the organization. Dear, they're just birds. They're just birds, dear."
I'll get to the bottom of this eventually.
She says, like, she explains, like, they've noticed as well the strange behavior of the birds, and they noticed that it seemed to be, like, this sort of quieting of the birds seemed to have coincided with the development of those mutations in the cave. And so the birds, they believe that the birds are quiet as a result of those mutants being there to not draw their attention. Yeah.
That makes sense. But I'm still suspicious.
You're like, sure.
Yeah, okay. Mm-hmm.
She doesn't tell us anything about the toy factory either.
She doesn't know anything about the toy factory.
Yeah.
But she will.
Was it just Sally that was in on this, or just like the mayor know about this? Like,
Yeah. So Ruth will explain to you what's gone on here. So you guys all know at this point that Ruth and Sally used to be very close, and in fact, Ruth was in that photo of the founding of Sally Sense. And what happened was the government wanted to do some secret research on radiation and radioactive usage for creating sort of like superpowered soldiers or other mutations that might be useful for military purposes. And so Sally's Sense was sort of put in place as like a guise for that. So the research was supposed to be going on here in the basement of Sally's Sense. However, when the research started to get underway, they realized, the government realized that it wasn't going the way that they planned, and a lot of very dangerous, unsavory things were happening as a result of this experimentation. So they shut down the operation. But they've noticed that it appeared as though things were still going on. And so they were setting up here in Connor's Crossing to try and catch Sally in the act of what she was doing. So they couldn't kind of send in like an official CSIS thing, because they figured that she would have time if she saw that they were coming in to kind of clean everything up. So she was trying to infiltrate secretly to get photographic evidence, whatever. Yeah.
Awesome.
and will we get in trouble for sneaking out and doing this?
So
Are we going to get in trouble for breaking the rules and sneaking out?
she's like, "Goodness, no, you saved my life. I won't tell anyone about any of this. Don't say anything about any of this to anyone. This must be kept completely secret."
She is going to confiscate my film, though, isn't she?
She needs it in order to sort of have that evidence.
paper scoop.
She's like, oh no, my dear. Oh, please give me that stuff. You've been a great help, and you've done something great for Connor's Crossing. But yes, I can't let you keep.
You'll just have to live knowing that you helped in a big way, and you can't tell anyone about it.
But talking is all I know.
Yeah, she's like, as long as you all keep quiet, all we have for you is thanks. But we will be watching you.
So I say, will the government compensate to replace the butter and the Coke, because I'm pretty tight right now and on cash.
Yeah, she's like, we can arrange for that.
Phew. And a new can of hairspray.
You're going to take the government money. You're just going to tell the government, and they're going to take care of it.
She's like, you know what? Here, and it's like $100 bill.
You could put curtains in like half your house on that in 1983. Ask how I know.
It's a lot of money. Yeah, ask how I know. Yeah.
Tracy, I need new hairspray and new powder foundation.
Yeah. No, she hands each of you $100.
Oh my god!
Do you know how many videos I could buy with this? Like 5.
Oh, man.
She's like, I seriously recommend that you put some of this away and save for the future. Don't spend this all in one place, kids.
I'm tucking it into my change purse.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've got one of those plastic coin things that you go like this and it kind of
Oh yeah.
up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The rubbery plastic thingies.
I know exactly what you mean.
Yeah.
And that's it, guys.
Yeah. I'm gonna say that we should run back up and get in our
Yes.
like in our group
Join the
again.
group.
Yeah.
Oh,
just
yeah.
kind of like
You
act
start like
nothing
making a
happened
soap,
and-
like, hey.
Yeah. Whoa, that was really fun.
Yeah.
I take the remaining Coke back to the shop.
I give Sherry all of the cupcake in a tearful goodbye.
Aw.
Yeah, so Sherry's gonna go with Ruth, but she gets her like mailing address from Ruth and writes it down on paper for each of you, so you can all stay pen pals.
Aw, that's cute. The only issue is that I think Jason's probably covered in rat blood.
You cut out a little bit. What did you
I
say?
said Jason is probably covered in rat blood.
Yeah.
Only a little bit. It's
Only
fine.
a little bit.
Just go wash it out in the bathroom and
soap
just like
factory.
dry it out under one of those like hand pump things. You
Yeah.
know?
He's gonna have to explain this to Stephanie.
Yeah.
Oh, I have a feeling that she probably noticed that we were gone again during this, so I don't think Stephanie's gonna
We all
be
show
with
back
me
up
much
with
longer.
Betty and
Yeah.
Yeah.
show
Yeah,
back up
Stephanie-
sweaty and dirty.
The last Stephanie heard is the bathroom together. So
Yeah. Though, after all of this, me and Carol might start hanging out more.
maybe. I mean, she's the second most popular girl. So
And my friend, which is better than Stephanie was, so.
yeah.
Poor
Meanwhile,
Jeff.
Jeff is like, I'm so happy for you.
Oh, yay!
Tracy's gonna be so jelly.
With your girlfriend, I got another girlfriend who's my sister.
Yay!
Thanks.
Good game,
Yeah,
everybody.
that was awesome. That
thanks
was a
for playing,
really
guys.
fun session.
Good. I'm glad you liked it.
No, I loved it. That was awesome.
Yeah.
I
Yeah, that
think
was
my
great.
favorite part is Tracy opening the cages to try and get them after her, and then she's just like, "No, I'm controlling these." It's like, "Oh, shoot!"
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Spoiled again.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think the most fun idea that we had when we were making the town was the inclusion of that garden club.
Yeah,
Like,
that was awesome.
That was fun.
That was an awesome
Yeah.
idea. I love that.
Very,
Yeah.
very. It was very much was fitting in that genre of the 80s kids movie, that there's this
Yeah.
thing kids believe that's totally fantastical and yet it ends up being true.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Urban legend.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
The other things that a lot of PG 80s kids-aimed films from that period had is one sequence of really gory, unusual violence jarred with the rest of the movie.
And we had that too.
Yes.
Thank you, Jill.
Yeah, I made sure
Yeah.
that was in there. Yeah.
Yeah, if this was a movie, we would get those, like, special
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Literally.
Or if you ever see the movie Monster Squad, that's a movie that has this weird mix of, like, it can't decide if it's a family film or not. Because it was made by people in their 20s who hadn't quite figured out what family films were.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll make it wholesome, but this would be awesome.
Yeah.
Right. Discussions about, does Wolfman have nerds? And stuff like that.
Oh my goodness.
And when one of them kicks him, we discover whether that is true or not.
Yeah.
So,
I really enjoyed this session. This was a lot of fun. Like working together and kind of coming up with creative solutions to situations and stuff. That was a lot of fun.
Very cool.
Yeah. I would definitely play Kids on Bikes again. That was really cool.
Yeah, it's fun. I'm interested to keep trying it because it is, I like the idea of sharing the narrative, but I'm still trying to figure out the balance between when to toss narrative control over and when to keep it. So that's like a bit of a tricky thing if you're not used to that in a role-playing game. But it's a cool, unique, mechanic. So I like that it exists and that we can play with it. So
Yeah,
absolutely.
Anyway, so
okay.
thank you so much, everybody, for playing for 3 sessions instead of 1 to 2, which was the original plan.
Yeah.
I really appreciate you
fun.
guys sticking it out. And thank you, everybody, for watching. Thanks for watching College of Lore.
Yeah.
Like,
thank you.
subscribe, do all the things.
Yeah, we've got our links there and over there. Down. I can't. Anyway.
They're somewhere. They're in all the spots. They're in all the spots where they usually are. All right.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.